Supergirl budget rumored to be only $1 million. Now, this is probably the best best news this movie has had in a while. Because if it's really that low, Supergirl's got a shot at being profitable here, depending on the marketing and all that. But she's like, huh? I know, but you could have done a Superman movie this low. You know, shave off the cast down to just the basic Superman cast and write a story that's, about Superman. You probably would have done a lot better. Hell, of course, you need someone who understands the character. It wasn't going to happen. Anyway, a new rumor claims Supergirl may have a production budget of only $100 million. That would be far below the $200 million figure James Gunn shot down back in December when he said that report was not even a little bit true. Of course, what's the metric of little bit? So it's really $180 million? Is that it? Yeah. Remember, he shot down the numbers guessing at the Superman budget, and it appears like he was fibbing there, So I don't know. At the time, Gunn's response suggested the real number was notably lower. Then Superman's reported $225 million budget. Well, then, all the other marketing and stuff pushes it over. So now the $100 million chatter fits with that lower cost idea. Update. Rumor/guess is apparently from Heroic Hollywood. So I don't know. What's their track record? If that $100 million number is accurate, the usual box office math would put the rough theatrical break-even point around $250 million worldwide. On paper, that gives Supergirl a much easier target than a typical DC tentpole movie. It also backs up the idea that DC Studios and Warner Brothers are trying to keep costs under control. Yeah, they better. That fits with previous comments from Gunn, hinting the movie would not be carrying some giant blockbuster-sized budget. Although it might look it, A smaller budget does not automatically mean a smaller problem. Supergirl is still a major DC release. It is still part of James Gunn and Peter Safran's rebooted DCU. It is still expected to help build confidence in the brand after Superman. Yeah, that's a big problem for it. So even if the movie only needs around $250 million to break even, that does not mean the pressure is off. No, Supergirl's in a position that it wasn't meant to be in. Superman was supposed to burst on the scene, and he limped to the finish line. That's terrible. And now it's on Supergirl to keep interest alive to get to the next Superman film in the hopes that really ignites excitement for the franchise. I don't think anyone believes that's going to happen. I mean, look, there's always surprises, And I imagine Gunn and Safran will be, But the writing's really on the wall, and it's like, well, we better look to jump ship somewhere else because this is over. Of course, the buyout with Paramount coming in and all that. I don't know. So it's unfair to the movie, but that's where it finds itself. But of course, the marketing budget comes into this. How much does that push it? So is $250 million really the break-even number, or is it more $300 million, $320 million, $350 million? Yeah, I don't know. But even that, it might make it. It might surpass that. I think it probably could do well over $300 million. Possibly. I mean, it's got Momo in there. Look, there he is, finally playing the role he was born to play. Born to play Lobo. This is not some throwaway side project. No. It is supposed to prove DC Studios can keep the momentum going. It doesn't have any momentum to keep going. It has to build the momentum. And it just isn't getting there. So again, I don't think Supergirl could do, even like I said, Supergirl is successful. Well, that's good for that one movie. I don't think it changes the equation that DCU finds itself in. So the budget rumor also fits with the movie's reportedly short runtime. Supergirl has been said to come in at around 1 hour and 45 minutes. This is also good news, because if quite a few elements in it stink, you want to get through it as fast as possible and hope they don't notice. So that would make it a relatively short comic book movie by current standards. A lean runtime is not always a bad thing. Oh no, it's not. In some cases, it can mean the movie is moving fast and not wasting time. Yeah, you don't want to spend too much time on the crap. And there might be some crap in here. But when you pair a shorter runtime with a lower budget, it can also create the perception that the studio is keeping the movies small. Well, that's exactly what they would be doing. So that is where some of the red flags start to come in. Instead of feeling like a major event film, it can start to look like a more controlled gamble. Well, I think it was just meant to be a placeholder for the DCU, and they were really, Superman was the deciding factor, and it didn't do it. Supergirl wasn't supposed to really right the ship or anything like that, which it can't do. It was just supposed to bask in the glory of Superman, and and off you go, So even with a reported $100 million budget, Supergirl has still been described as a pricey risk. That is because the number alone does not tell the story. This is still a DC movie with franchise expectations attached to it. Marketing costs will also be significant. Yeah, that's a very important number here we don't know. The box office conversation will not just be about whether it makes its money back. It will be about whether it looks like a win for the new DCU. If Supergirl ends up barely clearing a modest break-even point, that may not be enough to quiet concerns. No, I mean, it would just be devastating. I mean, it's already in bad shape. Fans and industry watchers will still judge it against a larger goal of rebuilding the DC brand. Yeah. And there's nothing Supergirl can do about that. It's in that position, through no fault of its own. I mean, if it's a really crappy movie, that's its fault. But the rest, the test screening rumors have only added more concern. Word going around online is that the screenings were not good. That has fed more talk about Supergirl. Maybe another DC movie carrying behind-the-scenes warning signs ahead of release. Okay. There have also been mixed reports floating around in the toilet bowl, which makes it hard to know exactly how much weight to give any one rumor. Well, that's always the case. Some could be true. Some could be absolutely false. Sometimes they're somewhere in between. Still, what matters is the perception. Yeah, it can kill a movie, even if the movie's good. It can. Right now, the movie does not seem to be benefiting from strong early word of mouth. Instead, the conversation keeps circling back to budget, runtime, and whether the internal reactions have been shaky. That is not the kind of buzz you want around one of the next major entries in a brand new shared universe. Yeah, well, this is because Superman didn't do well. That's why. So anyway, it's going to be directed by Craig Gillespie via James Gunn, and all these people will be in it. Excited? Well, wait for June. And Supergirl will, I was going to say fly into theaters. She'll probably stumble into it drunkenly because, I don't know, they think that's cool. But hey, look, Lobo in there. Come on, Lobo. Save Supergirl. I don't know. See, that's the thing. If the DCU could survive long enough, then maybe you could get your Lobo movie. That'd be cool, huh? But I don't know. She's like, only 100 million? What the hell? Well, you know. But again, this is the best news for it. You know, it could make a profit. You can say, hey, the movie made money. So you can always say that. You'll always have that. But man, what if it doesn't? Ooh. Oh, well, good luck, Supergirl.